A black cat walks across your path. Is something terrible about to happen? Maybe, if you're wearing white pants, because they're definitely about to cover them in fur. Black cats have spent centuries being called unlucky, magical, and even dangerous. But behind all those spooky stories is an ordinary cat with some extraordinary secrets. Their black coats can turn brown. Many are secretly wearing tabby stripes. One breed was designed to look like a miniature panther. And despite a popular Halloween rumor, black cats are not being adopted for mass ritual sacrifices. Today, we're counting down 10 fascinating facts about black cats and separating what's real from what humans completely made up. Let's begin with number 10. Number 10. Black is a color, not a breed. When people see a sleek black cat with golden eyes, they often say, "That must be a Bombay." Probably not. Most black cats are domestic shorthairs or domestic longhairs with mixed ancestry. Black coats can also appear in more than 20 recognized breeds, including the Maine Coon, Persian, Oriental Shorthair, and American Shorthair. The Bombay is different because it is the only well-known breed that comes exclusively in black. Bombays were developed in the United States by crossing sable Burmese cats with black American Shorthairs. The goal was to create a friendly house cat that looked like a miniature black panther. A true Bombay has a short, extremely glossy coat, a muscular body, a rounded face, and gold to copper eyes. They're even described as having a patent leather coat because of its shine. But without pedigree papers, your beautiful black cat is probably not a Bombay. They're still a miniature panther, of course, just an unofficial one. Number 9. The genetics are more complicated than black is dominant. You may have heard that black cats are common because black fur comes from a dominant gene. That's partly true, but it leaves out an important detail. Cats produce a dark pigment called eumelanin. At one genetic location, the version that produces black pigment is dominant over the versions associated with chocolate and cinnamon. But producing black pigment is not enough to create a completely solid black cat. Cats also carry genetic instructions for tabby patterns. To appear solid, a cat usually needs 2 copies of a recessive variant that prevents the lighter bands in each hair from showing. So the ability to produce black pigment may be dominant, while the genetic switch that helps hide the tabby pattern is recessive. It's not one magical black cat gene, it's several genes working together. Number 8. Many black cats are secret tabbies. Have you ever looked at a black cat in bright sunlight and suddenly noticed stripes? You're not imagining them. Most cats carry instructions for some type of tabby pattern, such as mackerel stripes, classic swirls, spots, or ticking. In a solid black cat, that pattern is normally hidden. But sometimes it still peeks through, especially in kittens or under strong light. You may see faint rings on the tail, stripes on the legs, or the classic tabby M on the forehead. These are known as ghost tabby markings. They do not mean that your cat is changing color or that something is wrong. Think of them as the cat's secret outfit becoming visible when the lighting is just right. A black smoke cat is different. Black smoke cats have pale or nearly white fur at the roots and black color toward the tips. Sitting still, they may appear completely black, but when they move, their light undercoat flashes through. It's a dramatic effect, and honestly, a little magical. Number 7. Their coats can rust in the sun. If your black cat spends every afternoon baking in a sunny window, you may notice the coat becoming reddish-brown. This is commonly called rusting. Sunlight can gradually break down some of the dark pigment in the hair, creating a warm brown or coppery appearance. It is similar to the way human hair can become lighter after a summer in the sun. Black fur also depends on nutrients involved in producing eumelanin, especially the amino acids tyrosine and phenylalanine. Studies have found that diets too low in these nutrients can affect the depth of a black cat's coat color. But don't start adding random supplements to your cat's food. A cat eating a complete and balanced diet should already receive the nutrients they need, and supplements should only be given under veterinary guidance. A little sun fading is usually harmless. But if the coat changes suddenly, becomes unhealthy looking, or appears alongside weight loss, skin irritation, or other symptoms, speak with your veterinarian. Number 6. Their skin is not always gray. You may have heard that black cats have gray skin underneath their fur. Some do, but it isn't a rule. A black cat's skin may appear dark gray, bluish gray, brownish, or nearly black depending on the cat and the area you examine. Their noses and paw pads are also commonly black or dark brown. If the cat has a small white spot on the chest or belly, the skin beneath that patch may be lighter, and that little white patch has a name, a locket. A cat with a small locket can still look almost entirely black. If the white spreads across the chest, paws, belly, or face, we usually describe the cat as a tuxedo. A tuxedo is not a breed either. It's simply a coat pattern, although tuxedo cats certainly behave as if formal clothing makes them superior to everyone else. Number 5. They are excellent at disappearing. Black cats have one undeniable superpower: camouflage. Turn off the lights, place a dark blanket on the sofa, and your cat is gone, until the blanket blinks. A dark coat can make an animal harder to see in dim environments. In some wild cat species, melanism, the development of unusually dark pigmentation, may provide useful camouflage when hunting in dense forests or at night. But black house cats do not have better night vision, supernatural eyesight, or special hunting senses because of their coat color. They simply blend into dark surroundings more easily. This may also explain why they can be difficult to photograph. Under poor lighting, a camera may lose the details of their face and turn the cat into a pair of floating eyes. That can matter in shelters, where one good photograph may help an animal attract an adopter. Fortunately, natural window light, a bright background, and slightly increased exposure can reveal just how expressive black cats really are. Number 4. A black coat does not create a special personality. Are black cats friendlier, smarter, more mysterious, more aggressive? No coat color can reliably predict all of that. Black cats are not one breed or one genetic family. They are a huge and diverse group of cats that happen to share a coat color. A cat's personality is influenced by many things: individual genetics, early socialization, experiences, health, and the environment in which they live. A Bombay may have some personality tendencies associated with the breed, but an ordinary black domestic cat could be shy, fearless, cuddly, independent, extremely talkative, or determined to knock every object off your nightstand. In other words, black cats are different from one another in exactly the same way other cats are. Number 3. The super immunity claim is exaggerated. Here is one of the most interesting rumors. Black cats have stronger immune systems. There is a small piece of real science behind the idea, but the internet has stretched it much too far. Scientists have studied melanism in wild and domestic cats because some of the genetic pathways involved in pigmentation also interact with other processes in the body. Researchers have proposed that certain mutations associated with dark coats may have offered protection against particular diseases during feline evolution. But this does not prove that your black house cat has a stronger immune system, will get sick less often, or will live longer than cats of other colors. There is no black cat force field. A cat's health depends much more on individual genetics, nutrition, lifestyle, preventive care, and regular veterinary checkups. So appreciate the beautiful coat, but don't let it replace an annual exam. Number 2. Humans turned them into witches' companions. Black cats were not always considered unlucky. In ancient Egypt, domestic cats were valued as protectors of homes and food supplies. They were also connected with deities such as Bastet, who represented protection, motherhood, and the home. However, the Egyptians respected cats of many colors. The popular claim that they specifically worshipped black cats is an exaggeration. The black cat's darker reputation grew in medieval Europe. Black was already associated with darkness, death, and the unknown. In 1233, Pope Gregory IX issued a document describing a heretical ritual that included a black cat. It was not an order to kill all black cats, but it helped strengthen the connection between black cats, heresy, and the devil. Later, folklore claimed that witches kept animal helpers known as familiars. Cats, especially dark ones, were accused of carrying messages, helping with magic, or even being witches in disguise. Imagine being condemned because you live with an independent woman and occasionally stare at an empty corner. By the time witch trials spread through Europe and colonial America, an ordinary relationship with a cat could be viewed with suspicion. Eventually, the image of the witch with her black cat became part of books, decorations, movies, and Halloween itself. But the superstition changes completely depending on where you live. In parts of Britain, black cats have been considered lucky. Sailors and their families sometimes viewed them as symbols of protection and a safe return home. In Japanese tradition, black cats can represent good fortune and may even be associated with romantic luck. Scottish folklore sometimes describes an unfamiliar black cat arriving at a home as a sign of prosperity. Some traditions say a black cat walking towards you brings good luck. Others say it brings bad luck. Apparently, even superstition cannot make up its mind. Number 1. The biggest danger is the myth itself. Black cats are sometimes described as the least adopted and most euthanized cats in shelters. The reality is more complicated. One study from a large urban shelter did find that black cats had lower adoption and higher euthanasia rates than cats of some other colors. But not every shelter or study finds exactly the same result. Black is also a common coat color, which means shelters may receive more black cats in the first place. When more of them enter the system, it can appear that they are being overlooked, even when many are successfully adopted. Still, black cat bias can influence how people see them. Some adopters may carry old superstitions without realizing it. Others may think black cats look less expressive in photographs or simply walk past them because several look similar inside a shelter. And then there is Halloween. Every year, warnings appear claiming that people adopt black cats to torture or sacrifice them during Halloween. Some shelters have even stopped black cat adoptions during October because of this fear. Animal cruelty does happen, and every adoption should be carefully screened. But researchers and animal welfare organizations have found no reliable evidence of a widespread annual increase in ritual attacks against adopted black cats. Stopping adoptions may actually prevent good families from taking cats home. The realistic Halloween dangers are much less dramatic: open doors, unfamiliar visitors, loud parties, decorations, traffic, and people who may frighten or harass roaming cats. The safest choice is to keep all cats indoors, not only the black ones. To fight these stereotypes, the United States observes Black Cat Appreciation Day on August 17th. In the United Kingdom, National Black Cat Day is celebrated on October 27th. Cats. Protection started the UK campaign after finding that black and white cats in its care were taking longer to find homes. Black cats are not bad luck, witches in disguise, or supernatural creatures. They're cats with beautiful pigment, hidden patterns, excellent camouflage, and completely individual personalities. And perhaps the strangest thing about them isn't their genetics or their history. It's that after living beside humans for thousands of years, they're still waiting for us to stop judging them by the color of their fur. If you have a black cat, tell us their name, and whether they have any secret stripes, rusty patches, or tiny white lockets. And subscribe for more fascinating stories about the cats who share our homes.